thought about what he was able to give you tonight?
Well, we kind of pushed the doc just to try to get him some minutes tonight. He's practiced. We certainly could have waited another, till the next game, but we felt like we wanted to try to get him some limited minutes just to get him on the court and what that was going to feel like. He just gives you a dimension that really helps us because he's so active. He created a lot of possessions for us. He's not afraid to get on the floor. He's not afraid to go after a ball. Obviously he hasn't played in a long time, and then he's missed. Basically, he was out 4 weeks plus 5 weeks. So I thought he did pretty well. I thought there was probably some slippage at times in terms of knowing what he was trying to do offensive, but I thought the energy and the effort, I don't think anybody on the team didn't notice that, getting us an extra possession here and making a play. I mean, I saw some smiles.
Like Jeff suggested that this Ricky would be Jorge light as far as the energy and things he can do for you. Is that accurate? Is it?
Well, Jorge was pretty unique, but I think there is some truth to that from the standpoint that Ricky's not really afraid of contact. He tends to throw his body in the fray. You look at his knees; he's got floor burns all over the place, and that's a way he plays. Mm-hmm. He sets a screen. Generally speaking, that a screen's been set. He goes after and gets a screen set. So, once he gets rhythm offensively and figures out, and we, teammates figure out how to use him, I think you're going to see a very valuable player, which gives us pretty good, at last, some depth on the perimeter. It gives us 5 guys. What we're going to have to figure out is whether we need to have those people on the floor and get into a 4-out situation, because right now our bigs are not producing at a level that's satisfactory. Do we use Jeff Powers and or Khalil Johnson in maybe one of those Ricky or Allen, where we're playing 4-out a little bit more and playing with more skilled guys? I don't know. That's something we're going to have to look at.
And Allen going for a career high, is that something that he could keep pushing this season as he's the dominant offensive force for you? Could that just
first half I thought that Pepperdine did a real good job of locating him, driving him off the line, so to speak, making sure, hey, look, don't give Crab open looks, don't do this, don't do that. So he was probably a little bit unaccustomed to that in terms of driving it, taking maybe one more dribble into traffic. But ironically, I thought that the pass that Krecklow made to him kind of got him going. And it was nothing more than good basketball, where he drove right at the guy, came to a 2-foot stop and delivered it right on time. Allen got a rhythm shot, drops it, and scores 5 right before the buzzer. And then the second half, of course, I don't know that he missed. He certainly felt like that basket looked pretty good. But it's important for us to move the ball. I thought that at times we were trying to make home run passes every time. Every pass had to be a terminating pass, and that's just not what's going to make us successful. It's the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the pass that scores the ball that's going to be important. When we did that, we were way more efficient on offense, and sometimes we get messed up a little bit.
Mike, was there times the last couple of years when if Allen had started 1 for 6, he would just kind of stop shooting, and tonight he kept shooting and then started making it?
Well, again, I think the thing that happened for him was the one shot that he got off rhythm. All of a sudden, the ball. Guys have to feel or experience a little bit of success, and he's a really good shooter. And once it went in, I think he realized that he was fine. I think the thing that got discouraging for them a little bit is the guards had dropped the ball to the bigs on, pick a number of occasions, and then they didn't finish, and I think that frustrated them. Now, Allen made a really nice drop off one time where he drove and dropped it down, and we fumbled the ball. We had a just a point blank shot, and I think they got frustrated with that. But Whether it's nervousness, whether it's whatever, we've got to get our bigs to start finishing around the basket better.
What were you
It
able
seems
to
like-
do better to stop their offensive rebounds in the second half?
Well, we harp on it all the time. I mean, we kind of just harp at the bigs about you've got to rebound the ball, you got to rebound the ball. I thought Robert went in and did a better job of going up with two hands. I thought what Richard did, because we've told him, look, if you can't get the ball, knock it out of there at least, but don't let them rebound the ball. There was occasions in the last game where we were standing there and they jumped once and jumped twice, and we never left the ground. We never moved a muscle. I said, guys, you can't. If you can't get it, knock it out. Maybe we'll make them play against half-court defense, or maybe we'll get it. And so we did a little bit of that. I thought Robert, went in and was a little more physical on the boards. Allen, as you saw late, the ball went up and Allen went away from the basket, kind of like Jorge used to do. He actually, this is a new concept, but actually jumped and got a rebound, whereas the bigs are not jumping. I mean, he actually went up and just got a rebound, and that's what we're not doing.
Coach, you alluded a little bit to the crispness of the ball movement. Is there a particular player that you credit with kind of being the driving force behind that, or is that one something you've been
Well,
in practice?
Brandon generally does a pretty good job of keeping us in. I think sometimes, and I've said this for 2 years now, Brandon doesn't have to score for us to be effective because he understands the game. He's tough on defense. He's a tough competitor. So he doesn't have to score. He can move the ball. I think Tyrone will move the ball when he gets a little more accustomed. He made a real nice drop off to Robert. He, jumped in the air, but he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and that's where Robert's been pretty good at finishing. Krekel will move the ball. Krekel will move the ball. He understands ball movement. He understands that whole thing. So the ball will move there. I think Justin sometimes likes to make the home run, likes to make that great pass occasionally. But if we get it moving, it makes us a lot harder to guard.
Any more questions?